2011.
Paula Bennett, you have just over 6 minutes.
Mr Speaker, 6 minutes is long enough to actually extol the virtues of this budget, of the future of this country and just where it's heading under this government. Mr Speaker, this is a good, pragmatic, responsible budget that is taking us forward, and I think in some quite still difficult times. I want to stand up first of all, though, and congratulate and say thank you actually to Bill English. Thank you on behalf of actually all those teenagers that are out there that are struggling, and the $148 million extra that you put into this budget on behalf of this country for those young people that actually need it the most. And they do need it. So at the moment we have young people who are floundering, who are lost in this country, and this government's actually decided that it's going to stand up for them and put the kind of support around them that they actually need. In this budget alone we saw $80 million going into extra childcare and support for those most vulnerable mums and dads in this country of teen parents. No, that's right. Labor did not vote for that. They did not vote for an extra $80 million in childcare going to teen parents so that they've got options and opportunities to get an education and get the kind of training that they need. You know, we have the debate too often in this House about how we are dividing up that pie of money instead of how we're growing it. And this budget is about growing it. It is about giving businesses the opportunities so that they can take on those young people and have the kind of jobs. And we hear often in this House, where are the jobs and where is it happening? Well, let's tell that to the 88,000 beneficiaries that went off welfare last year and into work. Off welfare and into work. 88,000 beneficiaries went off welfare and into work. Those are not the ones that went off to go onto super, not the ones that went off to go into a relationship, and no, not those few that went to go overseas. Those are 88,000 beneficiaries that went off welfare to go into work. Let's include, because some of these will be included, but into those that got job opportunities because of the 90 days that this government put in place. So those kinds of developments, those kinds of opportunities that actually meant more for those very people that needed it more. Actually, benefits at the moment are 4,000 below forecast. We have 4,000 fewer people on welfare that has been forecast, and in fact that has been the way the whole way through. I see actually the honourable member Clayton Cosgrove here at one stage was saying there would be 24,000 people on benefits actually in the Christchurch area. 24,000 more on benefits. Well, actually, in total it went up by about 500, and of course now it's 46% less than it was a year ago for young people, and 39% fewer on benefits in Christchurch alone for overall for the unemployment benefit. Let's not forget though that this is the party opposite who will not vote for welfare reform, will not vote for a future for those young people and for those on benefits. They would rather sit there lost of hope, lost of opportunity, and not having the chances to actually move forward. It was quite an extraordinary week last week, and I'm sure colleagues will agree, when we actually heard the Labor Party and their friends standing up and saying we should not drug test those that are on the unemployment benefit. They shouldn't be made to actually take opportunities to go in jobs. It's fine. No, we heard. We heard actually Helen Kelly up on Close Up, I think it was, where she did sort of try and sell the virtues of people being able to sit on benefits for long periods of time and not actually have obligations on them to be drug-free and to actually be in a position where they can take jobs. Well, actually it's true. So we were kind of thrilled. It was quite helpful seeing her there, but it was also quite well after all.
Order.
Mr. Speaker, I don't think we should forget, though, how much this budget actually did help those most vulnerable. Where we've seen 96 more frontline workers for child, youth and family, where we've seen more than 149 social workers put into schools to support those children and their families that need it most. I don't think we can go past a program and initiatives as big as the Prime Minister's mental health initiatives. They cross over from education to social development to health, and the depth of them, quite frankly, is kind of staggering and has certainly increased my workload dramatically, and I'm sure that many fellow ministers would agree, but for all of the right reasons. Let's not go past healthcare, which is actually there for those vulnerable that need it most, and this is a chance to actually talk about under sixes that are getting 24/7 healthcare now under this government, under this budget stepping up. But none of those changes make the biggest difference than a job does. And what the opposition don't get, and what this side does, is that it is businesses that will employ the people that need the jobs. It is businesses that create jobs. No job will be given to any person in Waitakere tomorrow unless an employer says they can take someone on. And for them to do that, they need the confidence of a stable and responsible government that is going forward for them. No job will happen for anyone in this country unless a business stands up or a person has the right kind of backing with the skills and initiatives to stand up and take the courage to move forward themselves. And the past governments can wring hands, but this is about action that makes a real difference for them. We see those jobs being created in the worst of times and in some of our hardest. We will see them go forward. We will see people moving forward and getting the kind of opportunities that they want. Well, those 88,000 people that went off benefit last year and into jobs didn't go to Australia, but I'm sure that actually we could do a whip around now and get a ticket for that member if she'd like one, because that we would see, I'm sure, as an investment. There's not an electorate in the country that would miss her, and actually there's not many others that would as well, which is actually the truth of it. But the reality is, Mr. Speaker, that these are times when we need to be looking at the future. And it's something to stand up here and talk about the future for our kids. We need to think about the future for those that are in it and those that need it now. And that means actually getting back into surplus. It means being responsible in what we're spending and whom we're spending it on. I am proud that we have looked after the most vulnerable. This has always been a National Party that would do that. We need to actually have more of it. We need to see this country moving forward. And this is a budget that I'm really proud to support on behalf of this Parliament.
The time for this debate has expired, so I shall put the question. So the question is that the motion be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary, no. No. The ayes have it. Party vote. The clerk. Order. It's timely to remind the House that party votes will be taken in silence.
New Zealand National.
59 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
34 votes opposed.
Green Party.
14 votes opposed.
New Zealand First.
8 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
2 votes in favour.
Mana.
Opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
1 vote in favour.
United Future.
1 in favour.
Any other votes?
The ayes are 63, the noes are 57. The motion is agreed to.
Appropriation 2012.
Order.
Appropriation 2012-13 Estimates Bill, third reading. Imprest Supply, second for 2012-13 Bill, second reading.
The Imprest Supply, second for 2012-13 Bill is set down for third reading forthwith. Honourable Bill English.
Speaker, I move that the Imprest Supply, second for 2012-13 Bill be now read a third time.
The question is that the motion be agreed to. Those